Today I'm going to go ahead and do a let's cook on how to make pretzels. Yay!
Yay!
This is a recipe that I found online through Food Network, and it's actually pretty easy. First, what you're going to do is you're going to need several ingredients. One is going to be milk, yeast, brown sugar, flour, butter, regular salt, baking soda, and coarse salt for the end. What you have to do is you're going to have to warm up milk. What I did is I put it in the microwave and I warmed it up for 2 minutes, and then I put in the yeast. This is the yeast that I have. You can get the regular active yeast. The only one that I could find here was the highly active. It works the same way. But you actually have to warm up the milk and let it sit for 2 minutes, or else the yeast won't work the right way. So we're going to wait for the yeast to fully activate. What I've been doing, I've just been stirring it. Here is the flour, and it's just regular all-purpose flour. This is the brown sugar. This is 2 tablespoons of butter, which you're actually going to put in with it. And this is the table salt, and this is the baking soda. Alright, so it's been about 2 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to add in about a cup of flour. I don't know what happened to my 1 cup measuring, so I'll just use this one. Okay. And then you're just gonna stir it. And then you're also going to stir in the brown sugar. And this is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Alright, next we're going to put in the butter. And then we're going to add in the rest of the flour and the salt. And then you're just going to mix this until it becomes a dough consistency. And then once it starts turning into that dough, then we're going to knead it.
Alright, so after you mix everything together and it's all looking doughy, you want to knead the dough for a few minutes. Now, if the dough is still really like sticky and stuff, you want to add more flour until it gets to a dough consistency. After that's done, what you'll do is you're going to let the dough sit either in a plastic bag or put a towel over it or something like that. It's up to you how you want to do it, but you want to let it sit for at least a couple hours so the dough rises. You want that yeast to activate and get that dough nice and fluffy. Here's what ours is looking like. We let it sit overnight inside a Ziploc bag. So once it gets to that nice big puffy look, the way it should look, then you can go ahead on to the next step, which will show you.
Alright, so we waited for it to rise. And what you're going to do, I know it's going to sound funny, but you actually hit the dough once so it deflates. See? It's deflating! Oh, what a world, what a world. Anyways, and then what you're going gonna do is you're gonna take it out of the bowl.
Puppies.
And then you're gonna have your floured area. It's a blob. Okay. And then you put a little bit of flour on there so it makes it easier to roll. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a handful of dough, break it off, and then start shaping them. And roll it in between your hands until you get the length you want it. It's coming apart really fast.
Just a warning, when you make pretzels, sometimes kids will just pop out of nowhere.
You see hands everywhere. Okay, so this is about a good length here. And then what we do is you twist it. Ah, too many twists. Still too many twists. Okay. And then you make your pretzel shape. Ta-da! Applause, applause. Thank you, thank you. Alright, and then what you're gonna do, okay, so you have your pretzel, and then this is warm water and the baking soda. So you dip it in there real quick, and then you just lay it down on the pan. And then you just repeat those until you finished off with the rest of the dough. That's it.
Once it's on the pan, that's when you would want to add all your toppings, whatever toppings you want.
Mm-hmm. So this is once you add them onto, my hands are all sticky. Once you add them onto the pan, you're going to add in your salt, the coarse salt, the sea salt. Or if you want to make them sweeter, you can add in the cinnamon or sugar or anything like that. It's pretty easy. Alright, this is how ours turned out. Some of them are kind of, these are going to be really, really puffy. So depending on how thin you actually stretch them out will determine how big they get or how puffed up they're going to be. So these ones are going to be like really, really fluffy, especially this one. But it was fun, and Katie helped us. So, yep. Now all you're going to do is put them into the oven at 450 degrees, and then you bake them for 10 to 12 minutes. And that's it. Once you get the golden brown color, then you brush on the butter, and then you're done. But we'll show that in a little bit. So now we have melted butter, and these are fresh out of the oven, and then you dip a baster, is that what this is called?
Yeah.
Brush thing into the butter, and then you just put it over.
If you don't have one of those, you could always use a spoon.
Exactly. Works the same. But scarily enough, we actually use this quite often for different things.
There you go.
So, like I was telling you earlier, the bigger you have the dough, the puffier your pretzels will be. And that's it. Just as simple as that. Then you just let it cool, and then once it's cool, it'll be ready to eat. Alright, so here's our finished product. It's nice and cool. And now we're going to taste it for you. Go ahead.
And Roxy's almost done, as usual.
These are really good. You can tell they're really fluffy.
Finally, bub.
Yeah.
What do you think, Katie?
Good, good.
Yeah? What is it?
I don't know.
Is it a pretzel?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
They're actually really moist. And we had the salt on there, so it had the perfect amount of salt on there.
You telling me you're eating pretzels, bub?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a Pretzels.
What'd you think, Ross? Okie dokie.
To me, it tastes like the ones that you get in the mall. The only difference that I would be is that they're not like the super thin ones, and they're not all perfect and everything, but the taste tastes just the same.
Yeah.
Awesome review there, Rox.
Yes. Super fluffy.
You know what though? That's what makes these good. Like, I love the ones at the mall just as much as anybody else does, but I like these. The homemade ones have that fluff and they have that taste that you can't get when you get something at a mall or a restaurant. It just always tastes different when you do it homemade. So.
Exactly. I think it tastes better.
So do I. I enjoy those a lot.
Plus, we had tons of fun making them. Katie was helping us. You know, she'd roll some of the dough out, and then we'd shape it, and then we'd dip it in the water for her, and then she put the salt on there. So she really did help out a lot.
Good job, bub.
But if you ask her, she made everything by herself. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did, and we'll see you next time.